Hey guys, welcome back to Selenium CS tutorial with NUnit Season 2. In today's session you can learn the importance of TestFixture attribute in NUnit, how you can ignore test or method in NUnit, how you can prioritize the ordering of test method or test cases and perform sequential execution with the help of NUnit, how to execute same methods multiple times with the help of relevant NUnit attributes. The TestFixture NUnit attribute marks a class that contains test. For an NUnit parameterized test, argument values are passed to the TestFixture NUnit attribute. The NUnit framework constructs a separate instance of TestFixture for each set of argument. A test fixture is the fixed baseline state that must be established before the tests are run, such that the results are predictable and repeatable. In unit testing framework, user can use the setup and tear down attributes or method to create or destroy the test fixture. Example, initialize instance variable with the right object. So that is the syntax. So now today only you can learn how to add that test fixtures, but there are a lot of importance is there. Unless you are adding the test fixture attribute at your class level, you might not be able to access all the relevant features which will be available with the help of test fixture NUnit attribute, just like the parameterizing test argument values to pass in the test fixture also. We'll see how we can add the test fixture attribute NUnit attribute in our test cases or test scenario. So it can be done before the class. So after the namespaces before the class, you need to give third bracket and then you need to use test fixture. You could see if you press test, all the relevant attribute test action, test cases, test case source, test fixture will be coming of test of. We'll be learning couple of in the upcoming session a couple of attribute, important couple of attribute from the NUnit. So it simply we need to add that test fixtures. Now some of the thing you can handle it from the test level or the class level with the help of the test fixtures, which was not possible unless you are adding it. Okay, so that is the way test fixtures will having lot of advantage which you will learn in the upcoming sessions. The next one is how we can ignore test or method in any unit. In case you are already familiar with the test engine framework, you could always learn you already learn how to enable or disable a test cases. Similarly here also, if you want to disable a particular method to getting executed, to be executed, so that we can ignore the test, or also you can ignore the test at the test fixture level, so that all the method belonging to that particular class under that fixture will be completely ignored. The ignore attribute is required to indicate that a test should not be run on a particular method, test or class. So that is the annotations. You need to give third bracket ignore, and within the first bracket you need to give the commenting part or the reason why you want to ignore it. So that will be printed in the whenever you will be running the test case with the help of the test explorer. So user can ignore a test based on their need by using ignore attribute at test level, so that particular test all the method coming under the test will be ignored. And it is possible to ignore all the methods in a class if user use ignore attribute at the test fixture level. Now suppose say in the previous session you already learned how to create NUnit test project. So you already created the NUnit test project and that solution, and already that particular test class already created, where we have created setup method and tear down method, and we also integrated, we have added all the packages for Selenium WebDriver. You could see that NUnit package is already there, Selenium support, Selenium WebDriver, Selenium.chrome driver, these are the package reference already included to the project. So that is the reason, in case I am creating any method, all the important method from the Selenium WebDriver, or we can access it in that any of the classes here or the method. So this is the setup method created. I already created a global variable for the IWDB interfaces, so that I can access all the important method in all the classes here, sorry, all the setup method or other, right, test class test as well. So we have in the setup method we are creating the right object for the Chrome driver. We are maximizing it so driver will be, so that browser will be launched and it will maximize. And we have created three test cases. Test case one is for launching the Facebook page and getting the title. Test case two is for like launching the Google page and getting the title. Test case three is for launching the Apple page and then printing the title of the page. Along with that, we are trying to assert, right, whether the expected title is matching with the actual title, and the tear done method every time, right, I want to close the browser. So that is the way it's already there. Now say I want to, now if you want to run them, right, so you need to click on the test and you need to go to the test explorer, and you can, right, simply expand it so that all your solution, right, that your project name, your class name and the method name will come. So you can simply right click and you can run the test class, so that all the methods belonging to the class will be executed, and you can get the desired right result based on the way script is behaving. In case everything is fast, it will get the pass result. In case it is failing, you will be getting the failed result. So it will try to open the page based on the alphabetical order of the method. Or based on the way you have written the method here. So you could see that is got executed. Now 3 are passed. Now if you right, in case it is not coming, so what you can do, you can click on the view and click on the output, so that output will be displayed here. And now if you click on the test, you would be able to get the desired result. You could see for the Facebook page, it is title is coming as that Facebook login to sign up. For the Google page, title is Google, and Apple page title is Apple, and 3 test case run, 0 fail, 0 skip. Now say my intention is to write to disable a particular test cases from the execution. Then how can I do it? So I can go at the test level, right? So what I need to do, I suppose say for the test method 1 I don't want to execute it, so I will be using that syntax ignore. If you type, you can see it is already coming. Ignore, and here you need to give the first bracket and you need to give the message. So this method is skipping. I want to skip that method, right? So that now you are having three test cases, three test method, but one test cases that method I want to skip here. So it will execute only two test method, which is that method test2 and test3, where you can able to see the launching of the Google page and the Apple page. Now save your code, right, and you can go to the test and test explorer again, and you can try to run your from the solution or package level or the class level, so that all test cases it will try to run. But now your test method 1 will be ignored, right? It will be because you have used the ignore, so that is the way you are disabling the test cases from the execution. You could see now it is only executed two test cases and one method, or that right test 1 will be completely ignored. You could see here the result here, 2 passed, 1 skipped at the solution level, same as the project level. Total time taken, this is the project name, this is the class name, same result, right? Total 3 test cases in the group, 2 passed, 1 skipped. And if you now select the group 1, you could see here this is the message whatever you want to, right, display here. This method is skipping and this is the standard output, because that is the way you have written, right? Ignore, and the reason was this method is skipping and other 2 test cases got passed. So what is the reason is printing here? This method is skipping. So that is the thing you already written here. This method is printing, sorry, skipping. You could see this method is skipping. Now if you go to the test again, you could able to see now the latest result. If you go down here, total 3 test cases, 2 passed, 1 skipped, and that is the reason, right, that the title of the Facebook also not printed out here. You could see here this method is skipping, test method 1 skipping, that is being displayed instead of title, and Google title and the Apple page title is skipping. Right, now you can clear it out also. Now so that is the way you already seen, right, how to write skip or ignore a particular test or a method. Now as already we have added the test fixture, and now I can completely ignore all the test method, and in case I am using ignore at the test fixture level, so I could say that this complete class is skipping, right? So that is the way I can use ignore at the test picture level. So I do not have anything, right? I have commented out that part at the test level. So all the three tests is fine now, but I am using ignore at the test fixture level, right? So that all the method belonging to under the test fixture will be ignored completely. Now if you want to run it, test explorer, and then run again, you could able to see the outcome now. So it will be completely ignore all the test method under that particular test fixture. You could see now 3 are got ignored, right? Sorry, 3 is got skipped. What is the reason? Reason is one time setup. This complete class is skipping. Similarly for the same also, 2 also and 3 also same error message, right? It is coming and it is getting right skipped. So that is the reason your parent level also skipped, right? Now you could see that this is the complete class is skipping. So that is the thing I want to print it out, right? With that is the reason we have given this complete class is skipping. So that is the way, in case you don't want to execute a particular test method or test picture, you can use it. So in case you are using at that like test level, so relevant methods from that particular test will be ignored. But in case you are using at the test picture level, so whatever is coming under the test picture, everything will be ignored. So that is the way, right? You can use the ignore attribute, right? So that the test should not be run on a particular method or test or a class. Then test case ordering. Suppose say we are having a 3 test cases here, right? It is working based on the alphabetical order. That is the reason test 1 based on the alphabetical order of the method name. So test 1 is the first, then test 2 and test 3. But sometime you can change the name, right? Anything. Suppose say you are having 4 methods, say, okay. One is for you want to just automate the e-commerce site. One is for opening the page, right? Your method name is open, right? Opening the page. The next method is opening the page and logging to the page. Next method is searching the product, so it will be method name might start with search. Then third one is adding the product to the cart. It will start with add, then close the browser. So what it will do, it will try to execute the test case based on the alphabetical order of the method name. So add product to the cart will try to execute first, but that will fail. So until you are login to the page and your product is searchable or the particular size is searchable, then how can you add the product to the cart? So it will fail based on the method name whatever you have written. So what you need to do, you can order the sequence of execution with the help of the ordering in NUnit, so that it will try to execute the test case based on the ordering you are given. So that way, right, your test case will never fail. So in any automation project, most time testers are required to configure test suite to run test method in a specific sequence, or user must give precedence to certain test method over others. NUnit allows user to handle scenarios like these by providing an order attribute within the test attribute. By setting the value of this order attribute, user can maintain order of test method as per their requirement or need. The order attribute may be placed on a test method or fixture to specify the order in which tests are run within the fixture or other suite in which they are contained. Ordering is given by the required order argument to the attribute and integer. So it should be always integer, that particular value should be always integer. It can be negative, it can be 0 to positive. In order to achieve, user need to add attribute to the test, right? After the test comma and then order and particular integer value. In case user do not mention the order, it will take the test case order as 0, which is by default, and it will execute. So in case everything you did not given any order, so everything will be default 0 and everything will be run based on the alphabetical order, because everything's all the right test order are still same in case you are not mentioning anything. If user define order as order any positive value, these test cases will get executed only when all test cases which do not have any order, right, will be executed, because the do not have any order means they have the default order 0, so which is lower than the positive number value. So execution will start from the lower to the higher value. Negatives orders are acceptable in any unit. However, user can provide an integer value to the order parameter including 0. As default order of test integer is value is set to 0. So in case user have one test cases with order 1 and one without any order value, then the test cases without any order will be executed first, as the default value will be 0 and the test with lower priority or lower order will be executed first. There may be chances that method may contain same order, right? Suppose you have given some order as 2 or 3 in the same multiple method. So what will happen in those case? NUnit considers the alphabetical order of the method name whose order is still same. Now see how we can do the ordering here. So I am having three test cases. One is test 1, like one is test 2 and one is test 3. Say now I want to execute test 2 first. So what I will be doing it, I'll be giving something called order. And I need to give bracket. So I'm giving the order as 5. It is not like that order should be in sequence, right? Whatever is the lowest, it will be executed first. Whatever is highest, it will be executed second. Suppose then I want to execute as third, right? As a second. So I can execute given me the order 10. So why you need to give some sort of difference sometime in case you are having more method, right? And you want to give 6, 7, so that you will be having some places, right? So that you no need to change the other also. And here I also want to give it as 15 because I want to execute it at the last. So I'll be giving it simply 15. So now what happened? 5 will be executed first, which is the Google. 10 will be executed second, which is the second here, which is the second more greater priority, and third is 15 is the most greater priority here, right? Or order here. So Google and then Apple and then Facebook. Now based on the order we have given. Now let's try to execute and see. So Google will be executed first, then Apple, and then your Facebook. Because 5 is the lowest order, 10 is the mediator, and 15 is the highest order. And execution will start from the lowest to highest order. You could see here Google is executing first, then Apple, test case method 3, and then test method 1 will be executed, which is Facebook. So that is the way your execution happened based on the order you are giving. So you can control the execution ordering with the help of that order attribute. Now you could see here test, right? Google executed first, Apple executed second, and this method executed third. An order can contain 0 and negative. Suppose in case you are giving is say -10, right? You can keep it. So what will happen? Now it will be executed first, and in case for a particular test case you are not giving any order, so what happen? It will be considered as the default, which is the 0. So now -10 is the lowest, and without anything means 0 will be the second, and 15 is still first, right? Till is the highest order. So now Apple will be executed first, then your Google, and then your Facebook. So that is the way also you can change the order. And in case couple of method or test is having the same order, then they will consider the alphabetical order of the method first, and then they will be executed accordingly. Now let's try to see. So now Apple will be executed first because the order is -10, which is the lowest here, and this test method is not having any order, so it will be 0, so it is the second highest, and this is the 15 order, so it is the highest one. So first is Apple, then second is the Google page, and third one is your Facebook page. You can use run all test as well. Click on that one. So Apple, then Google, because it did no order, right? And default. Okay. You could able to see the execution also here. Apple, Facebook, and Google. Now see, I can give some order here also, say order 20 now, so it will be executed last. Here you can give some bracket. Okay, so that is the way you can change the sequence of execution with the help of the order. So execute same test method multiple times. Sometimes a user have the requirement to execute a same method, right, again and again and again. So there are two attributes, relevant attribute available in NUnit. One is repeat and one is retry. So sometimes same test method need to run multiple times. Say test data creation part, right? Suppose say I am having the same test case, but I want to execute it for multiple times so that I can, with the help of the test data, I can execute other test case accordingly. So repeat attribute NUnit is used on a test method to specify that it should be executed multiple times. If any repetition fails, the remaining iterations are not run and a failure is reported. So if repeat is 4, and then the test method will be executed 4 times before executing the other next method. In case of failure, it will only run for one time and remaining 3 iterations will be ignored. Now say I want to repeat it, right? Test method 2, I want to repeat it for 3 times. So repeat, and here you need to give first bracket and then you need to give that one. So that particular test case will be repeated for 3 times here. Okay, maybe you can give it say 10, so that minus 10 will be executed first, then 10 will be executed 3 times. After that your 15 will be executed. Okay, so that is the way execution will happen. So one test case will execute for 3 times with the help of the repeat. So repeat will only happen in case test cases are passed. But in case test cases are failed, repeat will only happen for one time and remaining iteration will be completely ignored. So you could see Google page is trying to execute for 3 times. Yeah, Google page is trying to execute for the 3 times. And then your Facebook is executed based on the order you have given. So all the test cases run successfully. Right, and if you close here and if you go to that particular test, you could able to see here 3 run, but for the Google output is coming as 3 times because that executed for the 3 times, Apple 1 time and Facebook 1 time. So that is the way, right, you can execute your test cases. So repeat will only work whenever your all your test cases passed. But say let's cut that line here and let's try to execute it for the other test cases. So all the test cases are passed, but in case you are failing it, right, the test case say Apple 1, so that will fail. Then what will happen for the repeat? So in case your test cases fail, so repeat, in case you can give it 20 value or 30 value, so it will try to execute for 30 times. But in case the any time it is getting fail, so remaining iteration will be completely ignored and it will run only for one time. So it repeat will not work there. Okay, so that is the beauty of the test engine framework, because definitely in case of failure you don't want to repeat it sometime, right? So that is the way you can use the repeat attribute from the NUnit. So now you could see it will only try to execute for one time that Apple page, because though you are using repeat 3 times, but it will fail based on the assertion not match, so it will not try to execute the remaining iteration. So you could see one time run and fail, and it is not running for the other iteration, and is also running for one time, right? So one test case got failed. What is the error? You could able to see here Apple 1 expecting, but it is coming as Apple. Okay, and now if you go close it and if you go to that test here, you could able to see only run for one time with the latest result. 3 run, 1 failure, right? You could see here Apple is only one time, Google is only one time, Facebook is only one time. So though we have given our repeat attribute as 3 times, but in case of test cases failure or method failure, it will ignore the remaining iteration. Then next question will come. Suppose sometime, right, you want to execute the test case in case of failure only, right, multiple times, right? Sometimes test cases may fail. So say synchronization issue, like page load timeout issue, or your internet connectivity lost for couple of seconds time. Sometime whatever file you want to operate, that file was open, that was not closed. These are the different reason can be there. So sometimes test method may fail because of page load timeout issue, synchronization issue, right? Object not found, file not open, internet connectivity lost, etc. So retry attribute used on a test method to specify that it should be rerun if it is fails up to maximum number of time whatever you will be giving. So in test case method is passed. In case test method is passed, remaining iteration will be completing. So that is completely different. So repeat, it will try to execute multiple time in case it is passed. But in case it is fail, it will only run for one time. Whereas retry is completely opposite. In case it is a fail, then it will try to execute the n number of time whatever you have given. But in case it is a pass, it will only execute for one time. So let's, instead of repeat, right, let's use the retry. You can comment it out, that repeat, and you can go with the retry. So now what happened? So retry for 3 time, right? So here it will be fail. So it will try to execute 3 time in case the thing is passing. But in case it is a pass, though your retry is option is given as 3, so it will try to execute only one time. So you could see now, with the help of the retry, because of failure, the failed method will try to execute for 3 times, which is the nothing but the test3 and the Apple page. So it is second time Apple page is trying to open, and third time it is trying to open because of failure. And then it will go for the other methods based on the order you have given here, Google, and then last one will be your Facebook. Okay, so you could see here that that method got failed, right? That is the result is coming. Now if you close and if you go to the that particular console here, and then output, and then if you select test and if you go to the latest, right, you could able to see here that Apple executed 3 times because of the failure, and 3 tests, total 2 pass, 1 fail. Now say I will pass the test cases. Now whether retry will work. So in case it is a passed, it will only work for one time. The remaining iteration will be incomplete because it is passing. My retry objective, whether in case of failure, because of synchronization, timeout, right, interconnectivity loss or other issue, I don't want the false failure because they failed for the some reason which is the internal reason, right? So I want to retry them couple of more times and I want to make them pass so that internal issue is solved only. But in case it is already passed, so there is no point of retrying. It already passed. So that remaining iteration will be completely ignored in case of test case is getting passed. So now if you can go to the test explorer, you can run the project, package, or explorer, or the class. So you could see here, so Apple will run only for one time because it got passed. Then Google, and then it is running the Facebook. So that is the way, right? You can sometime retry or you can use repeat to execute same test method multiple times. So repeat will happen, right, for multiple time whatever you are giving in case test case is passed, but in case test case is fail, it will only happen for one time. Whereas retry is completely opposite. In case test case is failing because of the false failure, it will try to execute as much as until it is getting passed based on the count you are giving. But in case test case already passed, it will be remaining iteration will be completely ignored. So that's all from today's session, guys. Thank you.